Hey folks, Joel Sangerman here, and I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can buy a house with nothing down. This is usually the way people need to start, although you really should never buy a house using your own money or using your own credit, especially when you can easily go out and buy all the houses you want without having to use any of your own money or any of your own credit. Most folks start off with this first method. There's way more than 3 methods, by the way, and if you come into the training we can show you a multitude of ways of doing this, but I'll give you 3 for today that are easy to absorb, easy to understand. The first thing that most people will do is they'll just go out and get an agreement, and that's a paradigm shift that folks need to have. When you get an agreement to buy real estate, you have an asset. That asset can be sold, okay? So if you go out and get an agreement to buy at X price and then get somebody who's willing to pay Y price, you can simply sell the agreement for the spread between Y and X. That is called a contract assignment. So that's probably the most popular way. Now the second way to buy a house with nothing down is simply to fund your purchase from the proceeds that you get from your buyer. So you go get an agreement with the seller and you have a certain amount of time to close. During that period, call it the escrow period, you're going to go attract your buyer and you're going to line your buyer up and you're going to do a simultaneous close where you're collecting more money from the buyer than you're giving the seller, and you obviously make that spread. And then the third way that I'll share with you today on how you can buy a house with nothing down is simply to take over somebody's debt. There's lots of folks who can't afford their mortgage payments anymore, or they just don't want to make them anymore because they're moving and they don't want to have to make another couple payments, or there's not enough equity in the house where they could even afford a realtor commission because the bank loan has to be paid. But you know that you could take over that debt and then you could sell that house on a lease with an option to buy, or sell it with owner financing, and you can collect a down payment from your buyer. That's your first payday. You can collect cash flow monthly, which is the difference between what you have coming in from your buyer each month and what you're paying the bank or the seller each month. And then of course there'll also be a difference on the price that you sold the property for, and then the mortgage balance that you took over from the seller. And there's even more profit streams than that, and I'm happy to share those with you. If you want to jump on a Zoom call, I'll be happy to talk to you about everything. But look, the most important thing you can do, the most important investment that you can make is to invest in your education, invest in yourself, learn these skills, because skills and leverage from your brain is much more powerful than the money, the time, and the treasure that too many people are using to purchase real estate. Use your skills, use your brain. I'll catch you on the other side.